no text, nothing. When she finally came home, she said, "I don't owe you explanations." I replied, "You're right." Then I handed her divorce papers and the PI report with photos. Her story changed immediately when I, 36 male, need to write this down while it's still fresh. My hands are shaking, but my head's never been clearer. Monday morning, my wife, 34, left for work like any normal day. Kissed me goodbye, said she'd pick up groceries on the way home. We'd been married 6 years. Good marriage, I thought. No major issues, talked about starting a family soon. She never came home. Called her phone at 7 p.m., straight to voicemail. Called her work. They said she'd left at 5:30 p.m. Called her best friend, her sister, her parents. Nobody knew anything. Her mom started freaking out, wanted to call hospitals. I filed a missing person report Tuesday morning. Cops took it seriously at first. Married woman, no history of disappearing, phone off. They pinged her last location to a hotel downtown before the phone died. When I asked which hotel, they said they'd look into it. But here's the thing. The cop's face changed when he checked something on his computer. Got this look like pity, annoyance. He said, "Sir, sometimes adults need space. Give it 48 hours before we escalate." I knew what that meant. They found her phone active somewhere, probably checked hotel records, saw she checked in voluntarily. They weren't going to do anything. Tuesday afternoon, I called a PI. Guy named Raymond, came recommended by a divorced coworker. Told him everything. He said he'd start immediately and get back to me within 24 hours. Most of these cases, he said, are exactly what you're afraid they are. I'm sorry. Couldn't sleep Tuesday night. Wednesday morning, Raymond called. Found her. She's at the Westfield Hotel, room 308. Checked in Monday evening. She's not alone. My stomach dropped. Who is she with? Male, approximately 32 to 35. Arrived Monday evening, stayed both nights. They've left the room together twice. Dinner Tuesday night, breakfast Wednesday morning. You want photos? Everything. He emailed me 23 photos. My wife having dinner with some guy I'd never seen. Laughing. Holding hands across the table. Kissing in the hotel parking lot. Entering the room together. The last photo was time-stamped Wednesday 2:47 p.m. Both of them in the hotel lobby with luggage, hugging goodbye. I called Raymond back. How fast can you write up a report? Have it to you by 5 p.m. You want me to keep following her? No, I got what I need. Went straight to a divorce attorney's office. Explained everything. She reviewed the PI report Raymond sent over. Looked at the photos. This is pretty clear-cut adultery, she said. In this state, that matters for division of assets. You own the house? Bought it 2 years before we married. She's not on the title. My inheritance money. Good. Any joint accounts? No, separate finances. She insisted on it when we got married, said it was more modern. The lawyer actually smiled. That's going to work in your favor. I can have papers drawn up by end of business today. You want to move fast? Fast as possible. Got home at 6 p.m. The papers were already in my email. Printed 2 copies. Set them on the kitchen table with the PI report and photos in a neat manila folder. My wife walked in at 6:47 p.m. She looked fine. Not guilty, not stressed, just normal. Set her purse down, kicked off her shoes. Hey, she said, like nothing happened. I was sitting at the kitchen table. Hey, she walked to the fridge, grabbed a water. What's for dinner? Where were you? She turned around, took a sip. I needed some space, clear my head. For 3 days, without telling me? Her face shifted, got this defensive look. I'm allowed to have time to myself. I don't need to report my every movement to you. I filed a missing person report. She rolled her eyes. That's so dramatic. I'm a grown woman. Your mom's been calling hospitals. Then you should have told her I was fine. I didn't know you were fine. You turned off your phone. She set the water bottle down hard. Look, I'm not doing this. I needed space. I took it. I don't owe you explanations for everything I do. And there it was. The line I knew was coming. I stood up. You're right. She blinked. What? You're right. You don't owe me explanations. Picked up the manila folder and divorce papers, walked over and handed them to her. But I don't owe you a marriage either. She opened the folder. I watched her face go through every emotion in 10 seconds. Confusion, recognition, shock, panic, terror. The photo on top was her kissing him in the parking lot. This isn't... Wait. She flipped through them. You had someone following me? Answers in the PI report. Page 3 has the hotel details. Page 5 has the timeline. Pages 6 through 8 have all 23 photos. Her hands were shaking now. Jake, this isn't what it looks like. Sign the papers. I'm filing tomorrow morning. You can't. We need to talk about this. You said you don't owe me explanations. I agreed. Now I'm giving you the same courtesy. Sign the papers. She dropped everything on the counter, came toward me. Baby, please. Let me explain. It was just... Don't. I stepped back. Don't insult me more than you already have. 3 days. 3 days you were screwing some random guy while your mom thought you were dead in a ditch. He's not random. We just reconnected and... Don't care. Sign the papers or don't. Either way, I'm filing in the morning. You should probably find somewhere else to stay tonight. This is my house, too. No, it's my house. Bought and paid for before we married. Check the deed. Your name's not on it. Her face went red. You can't kick me out. I'm not kicking you out. I'm suggesting you'd be more comfortable elsewhere. But if you stay in the guest room. We're done. She started crying. Please, just listen to me. It was a mistake. A 3-day mistake where you checked into a hotel and lied to everyone who cares about you? I was confused. About us, about everything. And now you're not confused anymore? No, I mean, yes. I want to be here. With you. This meant nothing. I headed toward the stairs. If it meant nothing, you would have done nothing. You spent 3 days doing very much something. Good night. Locked myself in the bedroom. Heard her crying downstairs for an hour. Then heard her on the phone. Voice muffled. Then heard the front door slam. Checked the window. Her car was gone. My phone buzzed. Text from her. Please don't do this. I love you. It was stupid. I'll do anything. Blocked her number. Sent copies of everything to my lawyer. Took a sleeping pill and passed out. Update 1. 5 days later. Holy hell, this week's been insane. Filed the papers Thursday morning. My lawyer said with the evidence, this should be straightforward. Wife will probably get her personal belongings and maybe a small settlement since we were married 6 years. But the house stays mine, retirement accounts stay separate, everything stays mostly mine. Except that's not how this played out. Thursday afternoon, I got served with a restraining order. Against me. My wife claimed I was threatening and volatile, and she feared for her safety after I ambushed her with false accusations and illegal surveillance. Had to go to court Friday morning. She showed up with a lawyer and her sister, both crying, both looking at me like I'm a monster. Her lawyer argued that hiring a PI was obsessive stalking behavior, and the photos were obtained through illegal means. They weren't Raymond's licensed. Said I emotionally manipulated her and she felt unsafe in her own home. My lawyer presented the timeline. Wife disappeared without warning. I filed a missing persons report. Hired a PI after police basically shrugged. PI observed her in public spaces and hotel common areas, all legal. Judge looked at the photos. Looked at my wife. Looked at me. Ma'am, your husband hired an investigator after you disappeared for 3 days. The photos show you engaged in what appears to be an extramarital affair. While I understand this is uncomfortable for you, nothing about his actions constitutes harassment or stalking. Request denied. My wife started sobbing. Her sister glared at me. They left without a word. But here's where the entitlement really ramped up. Saturday morning, her dad showed up, banging on my door at 8 a.m. Open up, we need to talk man to man. Open the door. What do you want? He pushed past me. What I want is for you to stop this nonsense. You're embarrassing my daughter over a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? She checked into a hotel with another man for 3 days. She was going through something. Women get emotional. You should have been there for her instead of spying on her. She told me she didn't owe me explanations. So? You're her husband. You work through it. By letting her cheat on me? He got in my face. You got proof she actually cheated? Saw them in bed together? Or just some innocent photos? I pulled up a photo on my phone. The one where they're clearly kissing, showed him. He barely looked at it. That's nothing. A kiss. You're throwing away a marriage over a kiss? A 3-day kiss at a hotel where they stayed in the same room both nights. You don't know what happened in that room. I know enough. Your daughter made her choice. Now I'm making mine. He changed tactics, got all sad and pleading. Son, she made a mistake. She knows it. She's devastated. Give her another chance. Think about the family we built together. She thought about our family while she was checking into hotels? Everyone deserves forgiveness. Sure, somewhere else, not in my house. He switched back to angry. You think you're so perfect? You were probably a terrible husband, drove her to this. That what she told you? That this is my fault? She said you've been distant, cold, working all the time. I work 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, home every night by 6. She knew my schedule when we got married, but yeah, me being cold definitely justifies secret hotel stays. He stabbed his finger toward me. You'll regret this. When you're alone and miserable, remember you threw away a good woman. I'll remember I divorced a cheater. Now get out of my house. This isn't over. Yeah, it is. Court date's next month. Tell your daughter to get a better lawyer. He left, slamming the door so hard a picture frame fell off the wall. Sunday, her mom and sister showed up, with suitcases. We're here to collect her belongings, the sister announced. Sure, make a list of what's hers. I'll have it ready by next weekend. We're getting it now. No, this is my house, and you're not walking around unsupervised taking whatever you want. Her mom started crying. How can you be so cruel? She's devastated. She should have thought about that before the Westfield Hotel. She explained that. She ran into an old college boyfriend, and they just caught up. Nothing happened. For 3 days? In a hotel room? They were talking. In bed? You don't know they were in bed. I literally laughed. Lady, I'm not stupid and neither are you. Stop insulting both of us. Her sister got nasty. You know what? She told me you were boring in bed anyway. That's probably why she needed something exciting. Cool. Hope exciting was worth half her stuff in the divorce. You're not getting everything. She deserves half that house. The house I bought before we met, that she's not on the title for? Good luck. She put work into that house. Picking out throw pillows isn't equity, sorry. The mom jumped back in. This is financial abuse. You're trying to leave her with nothing. She'll get what she's legally entitled to, which, according to my lawyer, isn't much given the whole adultery thing. We'll see what the judge says. Yeah, we will. Next month. Now leave before I call the cops for trespassing. They left screaming about lawyers and judges and how I'll pay for this. Monday, I changed all the locks again. Added cameras at the front door and back door. Not taking chances. Got a text from an unknown number. You're making a huge mistake. I love you. Please can we just talk face to face? Blocked it. Another unknown number. It's me. I got a new phone since you blocked me. Please baby, I screwed up. I'll do anything. Blocked it. Third unknown number. Stop being childish. We're adults. We can work through this. Yeah. Blocked that too. My lawyer called Tuesday. They filed a counter petition demanding spousal support, half the house value, and compensation for emotional distress from my cruel actions. Can they get any of that? She laughed. They can ask, won't get it, but it'll drag things out a few more weeks while we respond. You good to wait? I've got time. Here's the thing. People keep asking if I feel guilty. If I'm being too harsh, if maybe I should give her a chance. No, she disappeared for 3 days. Didn't tell me, her parents, anyone. Let us all panic and worry. Then came home acting like it was no big deal, and she didn't owe anyone explanations. Then when caught, suddenly it's all mistakes and confusion and, can't we work through this? Nah, she showed me exactly who she is. I'm just responding accordingly. Next court date's in 3 weeks. Her lawyer's already trying to negotiate. My lawyer's response was basically, lol, no. This isn't over, but I'm weirdly calm about it, like I'm watching it happen to someone else. More updates coming. Update 2. 3 weeks later. Court was yesterday. Buckle up. So the past 3 weeks were a masterclass in escalating crazy. My wife apparently decided that if she couldn't guilt me, manipulate me, or cry at me, she'd just go nuclear. Week 1 after the last update, she started showing up at my work. Not inside, she'd wait in the parking lot. Just sitting in her car, watching the entrance. Security noticed her the second day and asked if I wanted them to intervene. I said only if she tries to come inside. She never did. Just sat there for hours. My coworkers started asking questions. I gave them the short version. Going through a divorce, she's taking it badly. Then she started following me to lunch. I'd drive to get food, she'd be 3 cars back. I'd park, she'd park across the street. Never approached me. Just watched. Creepy as hell. My lawyer sent a cease and desist, got a response from her lawyer basically saying she's allowed to be in public places. Week 2. The phone calls started. Not to my number. I'd blocked her on everything. No. She started calling my boss, my direct supervisor, HR. First call to my boss. Hi, I'm calling about one of your employees. I'm concerned about his mental state. He's been acting erratically and I'm worried about his judgment at work. My boss, bless him, asked who was calling. When she identified herself, he said, "Ma'am, I'm aware of your situation. Please direct any concerns through appropriate legal channels," and hung up. She called back 4 more times that day. He stopped answering. HR got involved after she called them claiming I'd stolen money from her and they should check if I was embezzling from the company too. Had to have a meeting with HR. Brought my lawyer, explained the whole situation, showed them the divorce filing, the PI report, everything. HR lady looked exhausted. "Sir, we're sorry you're dealing with this. We'll note that these claims are part of a contentious divorce and take no action. If she continues calling, we'll pursue harassment charges." That scared her off work calls for about 48 hours. Then she called my mom. "Hi, I need to talk to you about your son. He's not well. He's invented this whole story about me cheating because he's having some kind of breakdown. I'm really worried about him." My mom, who's met my wife maybe 6 times and never really liked her, said, "Honey, if you cheated on my son, that's between you two and your divorce lawyers. Don't call my house again." Wife apparently started crying and begging my mom to talk sense into him. Mom hung up. Then she tried my dad. My dad answered, listened for about 10 seconds, said, "You're the cheater, right? Lose this number," and blocked her. Week 3. This is where things got really stupid. My wife's lawyer filed an emergency motion claiming I'd hidden marital assets and demanding access to all my financial records, including accounts I had before we married. My lawyer's response was basically, "Lol, nice try," but in legal language. We had to go to court for a hearing. Judge was clearly annoyed at the waste of time. Wife's lawyer argued that I must have hidden money because I could afford a private investigator and a good divorce attorney. My lawyer presented, my client used his personal savings from an account established before the marriage to hire both the investigator and myself. Here are the bank statements. No marital funds were used. The account has never been joint or accessible to the respondent. Judge to wife's lawyer. Counselor, do you have any actual evidence of hidden assets or are we fishing? Silence. That's what I thought. Motion denied. Next time bring evidence, not suspicions. But the best part, the absolute chef's... Wait, I can't say that. The best part was when we finally got to the actual divorce hearing yesterday. Wife showed up looking like she was going to a funeral. Black dress, minimal makeup, red eyes. Playing the victim hard. Her lawyer opened with, "Your Honor, my client is devastated. She made one mistake during a difficult time in her marriage, and her husband has responded with nuclear retaliation. He hired a stalker to follow her. He's attempting to leave her destitute. He's turned her own family against her." My lawyer stood up. Objection. None of that is accurate, and counsel knows it. Judge sustained. Stick to facts, counselor. Wife's lawyer tried again. My client admits she reconnected with an old friend during a period where she was feeling neglected in her marriage. They met for coffee, talked, and yes, she stayed at a hotel to have space to think. But nothing physical occurred. My lawyer pulled out the photos. Your Honor, these were taken by a licensed investigator in public spaces. Photo 12 clearly shows the respondent and her companion kissing in the hotel parking lot. Photo 15 shows them entering the hotel room together at 9:47 p.m. Monday evening. Photo 18 shows them leaving together at 11:23 a.m. Tuesday, returning at 2:15 p.m. Photo 21 shows them leaving again Wednesday at 7:34 a.m. for breakfast, returning at 8:52 a.m. The judge looked at the photos, looked at my wife, looked at her lawyer. Counsel, your client stayed in a hotel room with a man who is not her husband for 2 consecutive nights, and there's photographic evidence of physical affection. What exactly is your argument here? Wife's lawyer scrambled. The photos don't prove. They could have been in separate beds. It's circumstantial. Judge cut him off. 2 adults checking into one hotel room together for multiple nights is not circumstantial. It's pretty clearly intentional. Move on. Then came the asset division argument. Wife's lawyer wanted 50% home equity, even though I owned it pre-marriage, spousal support of $3,000 a month for 5 years, her car that I helped her buy, title was in both names, my mistake 2 years ago, and half my retirement account. My lawyer's counter, she gets her personal belongings, her car, that she still owes $8,000 on, and $500 per month spousal support for 2 years while she adjusts to single life. Judge reviewed everything. The premarital ownership of the house, the separate finances, the fact that she worked full-time and earned her own income, the adultery evidence. His ruling, house, 100% mine. She has 30 days to remove any belongings. Cars, she keeps hers, I keep mine. She handles her own car payment. Retirement, all separate accounts stay separate. Spousal support, $750 a month for 18 months. Enough to help transition but not fund irresponsibility. Debt. All separate debts stay separate. My wife started crying. Her lawyer looked pissed, but not surprised. Judge, ma'am, you committed adultery and then tried to claim your husband's response to your betrayal was abuse. This court doesn't reward that behavior. You'll get enough support to transition to fully independent living. Be grateful for that. Outside the courthouse, her mom was waiting. Started screaming at me in the parking lot about how I'm an evil man who's destroying their family. I just got in my car and left. Got a text from yet another unknown number last night. I hope you're happy. You've ruined my life. I have to move back home with my parents because I can't afford an apartment on my own. Everyone thinks I'm a terrible person. You did this to me. I replied to this one, just once. You did this to yourself. 3 days at the Westfield Hotel with someone else. Own it. Blocked the number. Final update, 6 weeks later. It's done. Completely, finally done. The divorce was finalized last week. I got the official paperwork Wednesday. It's been almost 3 months since she walked in that door and told me she didn't owe me explanations. She was right. She didn't, and I didn't owe her a marriage. The last 6 weeks were mostly quiet on her end. The court ruling basically killed any remaining fight she had. She moved out of her parents' place and got a small apartment with a roommate about 30 minutes away. Heard through mutual friends, who I've mostly cut off anyway, that she's working and trying to rebuild her life. Good for her, I guess. But the entitlement didn't completely die. Had a few final flare-ups. 2 weeks ago, I got a call from her sister. Somehow got my new number. I changed it after the divorce finalized. Hey, it's me. How'd you get this number? Doesn't matter. Look, I'm calling because I think you should know something. Not interested. She's really struggling, lost weight, crying all the time, can barely function at work. I think she's depressed. She should see a therapist. She needs closure. She needs to talk to you just once, face to face. She got closure in court. You're seriously gonna hold this over her forever? She made one mistake. A 3-day mistake. At a hotel, with someone else. People make mistakes when they're unhappy. You should have been a better husband. And there it was. Still my fault somehow. I was a fine husband. She was a terrible wife. Tell her to stop sending family members to guilt trip me. You're such an hung up. Blocked. Last week I ran into her at Target. Completely random. I was grabbing paper towels, turned the corner, and there she was. We made eye contact. She froze. I nodded and kept walking. Wait. She followed me. Can we talk? Please? Just 5 minutes? No, I just want to apologize. Properly, I never got to. Don't need it. Don't need it. We're done. Please, I need this. For me. To move on. I stopped, turned around. You need to apologize so you can move on, so you can feel better about what you did? Here's the thing. I don't care if you move on. I don't care if you feel guilty forever. You made your choices. You live with them. I've moved on already. Her eyes filled with tears. I still love you. You loved a hotel room with some other guy more. It wasn't like that. It was exactly like that. I got photos. 2 nights, same room, lots of kissing. I'm not stupid and neither are you. Stop lying. She wiped her eyes. Fine, you want me to say it? Yes, I slept with him. Yes, it was wrong. Yes, I regret it every single day. There, happy now? Indifferent, actually. That's worse for you, I know, but it's true. I don't hate you. I don't love you. I don't think about you at all unless forced to. You're so cold. I'm practical. You taught me that. You said you didn't owe me explanations. You were right. I don't owe you forgiveness either. We're even. She just stood there crying while I walked away. Haven't heard from her since. As for me, I'm good. Not great, not terrible, just good. The house feels bigger now, emptier but cleaner somehow. I repainted the bedroom, got new furniture, donated stuff that reminded me of her. Made it mine again. Work's been steady. Boss knows the situation and has been cool about everything. No more parking lot stalking, no more harassment calls. Started seeing someone casually a few weeks ago. Met her at a bookstore. We're taking it slow. She knows about the divorce, knows it's fresh, isn't pushing for anything serious. It's nice. My parents are relieved it's over. Dad took me to a baseball game last weekend. Didn't even bring up the divorce. Just ate hot dogs and complained about the bullpen. Mom keeps asking if I'm really okay or just pretending. I think I'm actually okay. Took a while to get here, but yeah, I'm okay. The trust issues are real though. Not gonna lie about that. Every time the new girl texts late or doesn't respond for a few hours, there's this little voice. But I'm working on it. Can't let one terrible person ruin all future possibilities. What I learned. When someone tells you who they are, believe them immediately. When she said I don't owe you explanations, she was telling me she didn't value our marriage. I just took her at her word. Also learned, separate finances was the smartest decision we ever made. Made the divorce infinitely cleaner. And most importantly, hiring that PI was worth every penny. Without those photos, she'd still be lying, still be gaslighting, still be making me think I was crazy for having suspicions. Raymond gave me proof. Proof gave me leverage. Leverage gave me a clean divorce. To everyone who messaged with support, thanks. To the few who said I should have tried counseling or given her another chance, respectfully disagree. She didn't trip and fall into that hotel bed. She planned it, executed it, lied about it, and only showed remorse when caught. That's not someone you build a future with. Time to actually move forward now. Close this chapter for real. The divorce is final. The house is mine. The life is mine. She wanted space and no explanations. She got permanent space and all the explanations she didn't want. Good enough for me.